Hey everybody, it's Mike Cooch here with Kutenda. I want to share with you what I consider probably the biggest lesson that I can share with you as to why Kutenda was able to grow to a multi-million-dollar firm as quickly as it did, which was just 18 months, okay? This is, I think, from all of my experience in my previous business and then starting Kutenda, the most important thing that I have ever learned, and a little bit counterintuitive, but it's the big lesson that leads to explosive growth. And I want to share this with you. This is an example of the kind of strategies that we're going to be working on at the local Income Lab Six-Figure Summit in June in Denver, Colorado. So I wanted to give you a little taste so that hopefully you guys get over and sign up and meet me there, all right? So the big lesson that I'm going to share with you is a term that I coined myself for me, called strategic laziness. Now, what the heck do I mean by strategic laziness? Well, as an entrepreneur, you're probably like me in a lot of ways in that you're the most optimistic person in the world. You think that you can hustle and get everything done. You think that you've heard all the motivational speeches and you've read all the books and you've heard that, hey, you've got to be able to, work your tail off and overcome any obstacle and go after every opportunity and take care of your clients no matter what they want and all that good kind of rah-rah stuff, right? Well, I've heard all of that. I've bought all of those books. I've read them. I've been to every, conference on, how to be a successful entrepreneur that I could go to. And that stuff was all in my head. And that influenced the decisions I was making when I was trying to build my businesses. And it wasn't until very recently that I realized that those ideas, those thoughts in my head, those kind of rules that I learned about being an entrepreneur from other people were actually all wrong, and they were leading me to make decisions about my business that were costing me serious growth and serious money. Now, what do I mean by that? Obviously, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care of your customers. Obviously, I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep your eyes open for opportunities. And I'm also not saying that you shouldn't work really hard because you're going to have to build a good business, right? But you've got to be what I call strategically lazy. What I mean by that is that you've got to look for the best opportunities. You've got to look for the ones that are going to have the highest payoff. And put all of your energy towards those most strategic opportunities. Because if you just hustle and chase everything, like so many of you I know are doing, you're never going to get ahead. You're always going to be hustling. All right. So let's talk about what this means specifically for your business. In the beginning, when you're starting your first business, and again, I know I've experienced this, I've done this. Every deal looks worth doing, right? Every customer that comes to you that wants something that has some money to spend, you're so anxious to get revenue up and to get things going that you want to do everything that you possibly can. I just had a talk with a gentleman today in this industry who was struggling with this, who he's like, yeah, I don't ever want to say no to a revenue opportunity, and I understand it. But what happens is that today you're a website designer, tomorrow you're an SEO guru. Those are very different things. They're very different skill sets. They're very different operational processes to do them well and do them cost efficiently. They require different tools. They require different training. So you end up trying to just chase this revenue when it may not be the best thing for your business. And I know the feeling is down in your gut, because I have this feeling too, is, well, how can I pass up on revenue? I can see a revenue opportunity and I need the money. Well, what you'll realize over time is that, eventually you'll come to the realization that not every deal is worth doing. Okay? You have to learn to pick your battles and be strategic. Or else, this is what happens. You end up like a dog chasing its tail. And I know many of you know this feeling that I'm talking about, right? And again, I've been there myself. You go and you hear about, oh, somebody's having success offering this product or service. Somebody's having success in this market. Maybe I should go there, maybe I should go there. And next thing you know, you're just chasing your tail. You're spending so much time chasing opportunities instead of really capitalizing on opportunities that your business really goes nowhere and you're running around scrambling like crazy. You need to practice strategic laziness. Okay? Now, let me share with you how this translates into the decisions that you need to make at your business. And this is the path to explosive growth. This, more than anything, is what made Kutena take off. And it may seem counterintuitive, but what you've got to learn to do is you've got to learn to say no more. You've got to say no to new niches, new industries, new verticals, right? You've got to say no to new products and services. And you've got to say no to what I call bad revenue, which, it may be revenue, it may be even big revenue, but if it totally distracts you from your strategic plan and from what you're really focused on being good at, then it's bad revenue because it's causing you to zig and zag when you should be focusing like a laser. I hope that makes sense to you. Now, I know that this is easier said than done, okay? Believe me, I have what I call entrepreneurial ADD. I want to chase every opportunity, and anybody that knows me real well, that hears me giving this presentation would laugh because I'm the most easily distracted guy in the world. I want to go after everything. I think that everything is an awesome opportunity, right? I see the big upside in everything. But you've got to learn to focus. This is a discipline that you have to learn to apply to yourself, and you have to learn to accept if you want to grow your business quickly, okay? So again, this is the path to explosive growth. Let's talk about specifically how you do it. My recommendation for anybody that's selling products or services into the small business marketplace is that you pick one market at a time, one industry, one vertical, one niche at a time, whether it's dentists, chiropractors, lawyers, restaurants, whatever it is. I'm not even saying that any one is better than the other, but you've got to pick one to start, okay? And that doesn't mean that you won't get to those other markets later, but you've got to pick one to start and say no to the others. Next, you should have no more than 2 or 3 services when you start. You should pick, hey, okay, for this market, let's say I'm going after restaurants. Restaurants really need mobile websites, they really need SMS messaging services, and they really need social media. I'm going to put together 3 packages that fit into those 3 categories, and that's it. That's all I'm going to offer. Now, the first time you go and sell to a restaurant, they're going to say, oh, well, can you do website design for us? Can you, run pay-per-click campaigns for us? Can you, whatever. They're going to ask you for other things. You've got to learn to say, no, we do these things. Now, there's risks associated with that. Some people are going to say, oh, well, this guy over here told me he can do everything, so I'm going to go work with him. Or they're going to say, oh, well, I really just wanted that. So I'm not going to sign up for your services because I didn't really want those other services. Those are risks that you have to accept, and they're going to feel painful at some time. But if you just go after every deal, you're going to end up like that dog chasing their tail, okay? So you've got to have blinders to everything else, at least for a period of time. I'm not saying forever, okay? At some point, if you hear every restaurant asking you for pay-per-click services, well, okay, then maybe it's time to step back and say, the 3 packages that I thought were going to work originally aren't the right ones. I need to put pay-per-click in here. But look, if you hear it from 1 or 2 people, or you hear it once a month, whatever, you can't go chasing those deals. They're just distractions, no matter how much money they want to throw at you, okay? And then expand only after you're making money. Focus like a laser. You will get growth much faster than you ever imagined, and then you're in the position to consider, do you want to be doing something else? Okay, are there other services or other markets that you want to go into? But not until you've had success with the limitations that I already described. All right, so there are some serious benefits to doing this that you may not fully appreciate if you haven't been through this. So I'm going to lay them out for you here. 1, if you focus on one vertical market, you now have what's called a message to market match, which means that you are speaking the exact language of the audience that you're going after, which gives you a huge competitive advantage because most people in this marketplace are just out marketing to everybody, right? So I could be sending the same message to a lawyer as I am to a restaurant. Well, the lawyer picks it up and the message doesn't quite resonate. The restaurant picks it up and the message doesn't quite resonate. But then they get a message from somebody that's listened to what I have to say here, and they go, oh, this guy is talking about all of my restaurant challenges. I get it. Yeah, this guy gets it. So who am I going to call to sign up for services? This guy. He knows my world. So you get that message to market match, which gives you a huge advantage. Next, you get a product to market match. Instead of going out there and just being a generalist, you are going out there and saying, hey, market, hey, industry, hey, niche, I have got the exact product, the exact service delivery that you need. Again, that's going to resonate with that market to a much, much higher degree than if you're just going out there as a generalist. All right, next, when you have this, marketing channels open up to you. Okay? This is the most important part about achieving this just massive, explosive growth. If you are going out there with a general message and you're going out to the National Restaurant Association saying, hey, National Restaurant Association, I'm a website designer. Would you promote my services to all of your restaurants? They're going to go, well, there's a million website designers. Why are you any different? Why should we promote you? But if you go out there and you say, I am a online marketing expert exclusively focused on restaurants, now you've got the attention of the National Restaurant Association. They go, oh yeah, this guy can help our constituency, right? Our membership base, all these restaurants, this guy can help. So now those marketing channels start to open up because they understand that you have something that you can offer for their channel that's truly unique, right? So that's where you get these explosive growth opportunities because somebody out there has already aggregated your list of customers that you're going after, right? So now you can tap into that instead of having to go one by one and building your own list, which is very slow and very expensive. All right. All of this leads to operational efficiency, right? Because now you're doing the exact same types of services over and over again for the exact same types of buyers. You start to get these operational processes that are just totally dialed in, which means you can now be the low-cost provider in your marketplace. People are always stunned at the price points that Kutenda does what we do for our market. And it's because if you were trying to do this as a generalist to just any market, you would never be able to keep up with the price points that we offer. But because we are focused on one vertical exclusively, we are able to drive our prices down because of those operational efficiencies. And now, again, if you're a generalist competing with me and you have prices that are 3, 4, 5 times higher than my prices, who's going to win the business? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to win that business. So it just compounds. You just get more and more advantages over time. And then finally, profits, right? You've now built something that's big enough, probably has good recurring revenue, and has these operational efficiencies that for the first time, you're actually running an operation where you've got good margins falling to the bottom line, which is what this is all about anyway, okay? I hope all of that makes sense to you. It is literally the most important thing that I've learned from my last business and transitioning to this business. This business grew at an explosive rate compared to my last business, which grew very fast, by the way. But this one was much faster because of this concept of strategic laziness, saying no to certain things and focusing on one market with just a handful of set of products and getting all the benefits from that. Okay? So if you know what I'm talking about, this experience of, chasing your tail and feeling like, man, I'm hustling everywhere. I'm going after every opportunity. I'm doing all of those things that every good entrepreneur should do. You need to step back and you need to consider what I have to say here, because this will be an absolute game changer for your business and it will be a life changer for you. All right? I hope this all makes sense to you, and I hope that I'm going to see you at the local Income Lab 6-Figure Summit in Denver, Colorado. It's June 7th and 8th. We also have an extra day for VIPs where you're going to get real hands-on, small format, small group format attention with me and my team. But this is going to be a fantastic event, and we are going to cover the types of business strategies that I just went through with you in depth, and we're going to share with you exactly how Kutenda has done what we've done to grow very, very quickly. We've got a ton to offer. This is just scratching the surface, and if you have that experience of, I'm chasing my tail, I'm not really getting ahead, my business isn't growing like I think it should, and you don't know what's wrong, come to this summit, okay? You are going to learn a ton. You are going to walk away with a new set of strategies, tools, ideas that I promise you are going to catapult your business in the next year. To get information about the summit, go to the URL here down at the bottom of the slide, and it'll be at the bottom of this video as well. It's just lilsummit.com, L-I-L, as in local income lab, summit.com, okay? L-I-L, summit.com, and I hope to see you in Denver, Colorado. Regardless, take this message, learn from it, and go build your business, all right? Take care.